Let's do another one of these time plays in the past with Ripple. This time I'm going to pause the tape at different times to make it quicker on the receiving end. But currently it's in at 2766. And this thing was going down from the outset. So it's a situation where if you run out of money, you either would have to deposit more, stop buying, or put yourself in a position where you can always buy some. Let's move on to the start of this chart. The price is 56.82, which is pretty much double of today's price. So anyone who bought and hold is obviously down. But we'll see how well playing this game we would work out. Put a quarter of the portfolio in at 56.82. And here we have it on the spreadsheet. 43.88 bought at the 56.82 price. That's a quarter of one Bitcoin. That would leave you with 3/4 of a Bitcoin left to buy with. You can put sell orders in now, starting at 4,388. We can put in sell orders of 600, but these numbers on the early stages can go way up on down moves, and they will. We'll put in two sell orders at 74 and 94. For buy orders, 4,500 and 3,000, I'll buy at next. I cannot draw a line, but I can at least state that those are the levels. But let's fast forward to the next play. It's either going to be sell 74 or buy 45. We'll buy 11.2% of a Bitcoin, 2,500. The 3,000 order got missed, so we'll put a buy order in for 2,500, 1,750, and 1,000. However, we'll need a sell order for the last buy. And previous level of resistance, always a good place for me. Couple months go by, nothing happens. And price goes down to 2,500, so that will be a buy. 4,000. Total buys, not quite a half a Bitcoin yet. And there's 10,000. So therefore, trading 1,000 is most certainly the amount to sell. The next sell order will be at 39.62. So therefore, 1,750 and 1,000 is the next buy. So either 1,750 is next or 39.62, and that would be the sell. So now we'll move the buy order back lower to the 25 handle. So 25 or 55 is next. And 25 gets filled at this point barely. So if 1,000 was sold before, we need to buy a bit more, say 1,250. And then we'll place a sell order somewhere near this previous high. Here's a spot where it fell down to 1,000. I guess it's time to buy more. And if you have 0.54, putting in a 0.12 or in that area, 20%, definitely doable. So let's assume that the purchase is for 12,500 at the price of 1,001. You could place a couple sell orders after this for that one, maybe one at around 1790. And then again at around 26. I'll buy it back again, I guess, at 500. Or small at 750, then 500 again. At this stage, I'm only going to be buying a quarter of my bankroll every single time it goes lower to ensure I never run out of Bitcoin. I have 23,600 of these, and I can now trade easily 2,000 of them. In this situation, the last trade was 993, meaning I am down 1/3 or 35% in this early game thus far. Market's holding in for now, but it did miss a sell order. But it did hit this one. I just noticed that. 1790 gets filled. But I would look to buy right back at that 1,000 number. So I'll just put this down here. That's where we'll go next, is either 1,000 or 2687. Market moves a bit, but nothing happens. Moves a bit more. Still no buys or sells. Then the summer of 2016, the 1,000 gets executed. This is a rebuy, buying back from what you sold. And the 1790 mark, we sold it for 2,000. So we can easily buy about 2,800 at this current price. And because of the fact that there's 24,000 in there, even doing 2,500 is viable. So I'm going to move the sell level up to 2,500 per transaction. I need a new sell order. Move it up here. And then 750 if it happens to go lower. And this sell order missed. Anything you pretty much bought, it went down to 14 satoshi. So let's be realistic. What would your buy orders have been? You have 42% of a Bitcoin. So you can definitely do 0.1 on your first one. 13,000 sounds fair. Next buy would be 500. That would put us down to 9%. 250 is the next low number. But let's assume the furthest you went down to was 100 for 5% of a Bitcoin, leaving you with only 11%. That's it. Well, you wish you would have put it down at like 20 or 30. But hey, you got what you got. And if you look at the chart from here, price is 11.43. You're selling a bunch immediately. There is no questions about it. You would have seen 4 buy notifications come in. Buying 31, 61, 111,000. So there's nothing wrong with unloading like 50,000 of them. Taking a huge amount of immediate profit. And then looking to sell the rest of the way. So let's do this. Let's sell 5,000 of them at 11.43. 50,000 of them, rather. Thought that was a low number. So as this would stand right now, you would now be up 65% with the market down since you started. Isn't that magnificent? You have 1,100 coins. You shouldn't know. If you bought 50,000, I sold 50,000. The last trade, I have 85,000. Duh. So that means at 85,000, I should be selling it for about 7,500 each the rest of the way. That's a little under 10%. So that will be what will be sold for. So let's put some new lines in. We don't need to put a new sell order in, but we do need to put some buy orders in. So roughly around here. And then we'll do the same thing if it just happens to go lower. So therefore, 687 or 1686 is the next play. And it was June 21st of 2016 when this happened. And you're a day before when something's going to happen. And it would be the middle of September. You're basically gone about 3 months without a single transaction. The next day, you get a sell order in at 1686. And we'll move this lower for a buy order now. And we want to buy back to where it came from, right around in here. 11.15 is good for me. So either when the sell order that's already activated hits or 1100, that's the next play. and it didn't take long to buy it back. Last time I sold 7,500, so I can easily buy about 9,000 back and work towards making some nice profit. And with the next buy or sell order, previous high. Many months go by and nothing happens. But shortly thereafter, the price declines enough to get a buy-in at 687. We'll move this up a little higher. That's a sell order now. And we had 17, so you know what, around 12.99 is nice. Next play is a buy order, and just barely on February the 18th, 2017, buying at 500. And after these buys, this would put the portfolio barely profitable, yet the price is much lower from where you started. 110,000 tokens, which means doing 10,000 per play selling at this stage. Let's move this up higher. Let's go south of 1,000. And this thing gets pretty wild. It gets pretty wild from here. It sure does. There's that sell order at 940. And I'll try to buy it back at 5 again. Instead, I get two sell orders that get hit at 1,300 and around 1,700. So after these two sales, this puts me in a situation where I put in the current price at 2042. Would have 2.6 Bitcoin average buy 704, average sale 1288. Move this down to buy cheaper. As well as this one as well. And isn't that the SHITS? I guess I'll have to move this sell order down a little bit before. That is nasty that happened. But the market rebounds. And I get a 47, which I actually should have sold before. But you know what? I'm going to just sell 47 and 54. I mean, look at the amount of Bitcoins. That's one full Bitcoin, a little higher on the two transactions. And let's move one of these down to here. And there's a decent sized gap in between here somewhere where there is no buy order. Now, two more get taken out, 72 and 94. I would have had one around 15,000. But the high was 14,887, and granted it'd be probably 14,900 and something. That would have been yet another miss. So after those sales, 0.93 and 0.71, some very good plays in there, which puts the portfolio at 8.3 Bitcoins, 8.3 times higher. 3.6 actual amount in Bitcoin at this time frame. Let's move a previous sell order into a buy order, say in around 5,000 and 6,300. And let's put a sell order up here. But now it's a situation where selling 10,000 was working, but I'm going to run out if I continuously sell 10,000 when I only got 40,000. So let's go 5,000 from now on until I can accumulate some more. And 5,000 is going to get hit at this 14 number. Still worth 0.722 Bitcoin. Let's drop this line again. We'll go say 75, 76. And I suppose at this point sell 25, 40, and 60,000. And it doesn't hit there. Wouldn't hit there. And again, you would be close within that. But the next play taking us back to just this previous summer, is a buy order in at 75.65. And since 5,000 was sold on the last transaction, I'm going to buy a bit more, 6,200, but each transaction will have a higher buy sum when there is 3.9 Bitcoins in the bank. But we know the market goes down, so buy orders will get filled. Like the 6,336. As well, the 5,153 gets bought up. 3,549 is a buy. And with the accumulation of these tokens and a pricing at 5,000, that means your net value is about 6 Bitcoin, 6 times higher. You're holding 2.6 Bitcoins, so you still got some buying power left. And 67,000 cryptos means you're probably selling at about 7,500 per sell order at this time. And that's how many will get sold here at 68.45. And we'll place it down. In a bear market, there's two places to go. One previous low or a lower low. So let's do previous low. Next play is either 9,000 or 37. And the 37 gets hit as a buy order. So then the number will get moved higher. There we have it. And then a 2687 buy order getting executed November 2nd, 2017, which is 14 days before the current time. This is almost over. So you lift this up a bit, maybe sell around this previous former support level. And even today's rally up to 4,000 didn't get you a sell order in place. So at this time frame, you wouldn't be doing anything until your buy order comes in, which I'll have to see. You'd be waiting to buy at 1,700. You have a buy order at 1,000. You'd have a buy order at 767. You'd have a sell order in at 59, 9,000, 12,000, 15. But you'd have a sell order also here at 23. Maybe a sell order in at 45 or 46. 49,000, 75,000, 125, and maybe 200,000 and a million to spare to finish these sell orders. The statistics, starting with 1 Bitcoin and price action dropping substantially to its current level at 2,800. The first buy was 43.88. So had you just bought in with a Bitcoin and held it to now, you'd be worth about 0.57, somewhere around there. But here's a spot where outperforming the market worth 4 3/4. You're sitting on 2.5. 222,000 coins were bought. 143,000 sold. You bought for 3.55, you sell for 507. That's the objective of the game. How fast can you make it so that you have a good number of buys minus sells, yet your net return is higher than your net cost? Here's another example of being able to trade this code and getting over a 100% average return on trade. And this is from the entirety of the Ripple's run. Starting this back at the start of 2015. That is almost 3 full years, over 1,000 trading days. And amongst those 1,000 trading days, you had 20 buys completed and 19 buys completed and 13 sells. Of course, you can play for 20% moves here and 10% moves and get more volume. And it's a different game. You're not going to be selling 10% of your stack when you're playing for like a 20% push or 15% push. But we can see, just following this simple strategy, how you can outperform this market. Let's just take another quick example of some random code. I mean, I can even show stocks. It's all the same. So yeah, let's just show a random stock I've never heard of. I've never heard of Jack Specific Inc. on the NASDAQ. Not even maybe. Now, this thing goes to nothing, but hey, you start off at 260, you put a buy in, you put a sell order, say, here at 4, put a sell order in at 5. But how would this work historically doing such? It's pretty easy to take a look at and see. I've never seen this before, so I have no idea what I'm going to look like, what it's going to look like other than it's been in a downtrend for the last few months of this year. Monthly chart is not loading. Is it because of Okay, this is like a profitable code. Now, when we take a look at this, look at the choppiness. This is beautiful code for trading. Oh my goodness. If you would have started this out at $4.39, and here you are sitting today with the market down to $2.60, you're like such in huge profits. Because we know what's going to happen here is you're going to have tremendous selling opportunities in here, buying it all back, and along the way it goes down to 14, back up, so there's some more selling in here, more buying back, more selling, buy some more sell gaps in here. Everything you bought back here, you're going to sell up here, buy it all back here, sell it all up here, buy a bit down here, sell a bit up here. And then just back and forth along here, you can see all of these up and down choppy teeth. That's the type of movements you want to look for within this strategy. You need the volatility moves to move up and down like this. You need it not to go straight down, at least long term. You're going to hit some short-term losses, as you've seen. That can hit you pretty hard. And in the situation, and generally speaking, when you're looking to see where you go, if you see a big support level like this, it's a decent side leg lower. So pretty easy to say not buy around this level here because that's like a miniature leg. But just as we can see now, it's I wouldn't, not a bad idea to, if I was to play this game and there was no better way of playing it, to buy now and sell up here. And I say that because cryptos are the way to go. I can play this exact game that I talk about. I am playing the exact game on many codes. And yeah, thank you for tuning in to the Ripple back in the past. Take care.